Welcome everyone to the Moisky News for 28th of January 2020. Today I want to talk about salt. Yeah, I know. We are, 4 days away from leaving the EU. Now's a good time to talk about it. Much of this stemmed from the fact that Boris announced plans to celebrate our leaving of the EU at 11 p.m. on Friday, in a manner that I would agree with many is nowhere near as good as making Big Bang Bong. Say that after a few drinks, I promise it gets weird. By projecting a countdown clock onto Downing Street, illuminating buildings around Whitehall, flying Union flags, or bunting I think is what it's normally known as. They will be flown around Parliament Square, along with the much delayed Brexit coin finally getting released. And we will get on to the Brexit coin as there is some fresh salt there worth digging. The former Deputy Prime Minister and Tory peer Michael Heseltine believes that this is Boris rubbing Remainers/Remoaners noses in defeat. Now, while I personally prefer a magnanimous celebration, after 4 years, I am somewhat done. And just want this to be over so we can move on to more pressing issues. Because let's face it, Brexit is quite the distraction. And I will say, while Michael Heseltine has a point, along with a number of other MPs that take great issue with for example, the coin, there is nothing wrong with celebrating such a moment. Especially when you are as openly and outwardly positive like Boris is. The obvious problem is, this issue splits the country in half, so you're hardly going to get a warm welcome to the idea of spending money on celebrating. Yep. Many MPs do in fact support Michael Heseltine and believe that this is unwise. With Michael Heseltine being quoted as saying, "I think it is unwise of the government to rub our noses in it by celebrating our defeat at this hour, whilst talking about unifying the country." With him saying the only comfort was that the plans to make Big Ben Bong to mark the moment were dropped, which I think is a huge sadness, really. Who doesn't want to hear Big Ben Bong? You're right, no one does. So, people that support Michael Heseltine in this would include the current acting leader of the Liberal Democrats, who believes that using public money for an inappropriate, divisive event is wrong. And finally, which I think many of you now will take great relief from, Ian Blackford, the SNP leader at Westminster, has said, "It grieves me that we should be leaving the greatest post-war peace project ever created. That is not something we should be celebrating." He kind of has a point, but the country voted to leave, and we should celebrate, because after 4 years I really, really want it to be over. Many MEPs that currently serve within the European Parliament will actually attend their final sitting on Thursday. I just wanted to throw that in here because it's interesting. So let's get on to the commemorative coin, because this is salty. Alistair Campbell, the former spin doctor for the Labour Party, the New Labour project, has said that he would ask for a different change, like 2 20s and a 10, because the new Brexit coin is a 50p piece. For those who don't know, every year the Mint will produce new and innovative designs on the back of the 50p piece every year. I know this as I have a collection of them, unintentionally I might add. I pay by card, so I don't exactly normally make it a point to use cash unless a client pays with cash, in which case I'm just going to throw it at something and do whatever I want with it. He is supported by Labour peer Lord Adonis, who has tweeted that he would never accept one. Have any of you ever heard of contactless? It's a fantastic form of, paying without even having to look at a coin. Since I use it for virtually everything unless the aforementioned clients pay by cash, it's really handy. As I now know 3 million of these particular coins will be produced, I'm going to keep my eyes out because I know my brother-in-law is a coin collector, and I'm going to be sure to get him one because he doesn't really care. Although he does want the eggs and bacon coin. I need to find that. That'd be fun. As far as celebrating this all goes, I personally won't be, but I will be streaming on Friday on this channel at 10:30 p.m. GMT so that when we hit 11 p.m. GMT, we've left, and I get to then exist for one more minute before our country turns into Armageddon. That's what's meant to happen, right? I think that's what we call prosperity. Anyway, with this, I'm very much interested to know what you think. So please do let me know in the comments below. Do you think the party, the celebration, the lights are inappropriate? Or do you think now that you know you're leaving, perhaps you should just take a moment and reflect on the fact you lost? Not on why you lost, but on the future we could have. Believe that as a country we can succeed, and we don't need to be propped up by others to achieve greatness. Air quotes around that last word.